I'm required by law to read you this agreement and have you sign it before we can continue. You understand that for this pill there is no antidote. You understand that the pill in question is legal and is for purposes of mercy in accordance with Civil Amendments 38 and 40. You may now use this pill as you wish, assuming that you're 18 years of age or older, but the nurse must witness you taking it so that no one unnecessarily takes it. Whatever you do with your remaining 8 hours after ingestion is your own choice. Do you understand?
Might as well. It's been so long since I've had something to live for. Wait. Would you want to spend the night? Nothing sexual or anything, and not even really staying here, so I guess what I mean to say is, would you want to go out and have some fun with me?
You don't have anyone else you could spend the night with?
No, not really.
Well, my shift's over now, and I was looking for something to do tonight, so sure.
Okay, great. Would you want to go get something to eat then?
Yeah. Considering your current condition, I suppose you ought to choose where.
Okay, there's a place not too terribly far from here. We can take my car. Excuse me. Ready?
Yeah.
Here's your salad.
Thank you.
So this place is nice.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's one of the places that I love to come to, but if I came too much, I'd be broken fat before I knew it. So, do you have a favorite food? Sorry, that's kind of a weird question. I guess, what I mean is, if you had a food that was just the pinnacle of your taste, what food would that be?
I have such a terrible time with favorites. As a matter of fact, I'm not really sure I could choose one.
That's fair. Do you have a hard time picking favorites with food or just things in general?
I think it just goes against my nature, you know?
No, not really. I just tend to automatically rank things.
I've never really been like that. I tend to see the good and the bad in things pretty clearly, which doesn't lend well to favoritism.
Makes sense. So, what do you do when you're not making rounds as a nurse?
Well, that's where my income comes from, but I don't really have a family or anything, so I spend most of my spare time writing poetry, creating music, and dancing, and all that jazz.
That's definitely sounds better than what I do.
Which is?
Nothing really.
Nothing has its place. It's not what I prefer, but it has its place.
Anything else I can get you?
No, we're good, thank you.
Enjoy your meal.
Whew. How was your food?
It was good.
Good.
So what do you want to do when you finish eating?
Well, there's a duck pond that I pass by quite a bit. I don't know, I just always thought it'd be fun to go feed the ducks, and I don't know, it sounds weird, but I've always kind of wanted to go on a date there.
Is that what this is?
Do you want it to be?
I don't think it'd be healthy to consider it that.
Obviously not, and it's for my health.
So, thanks for supper.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We could feed our leftover bread to the ducks.
Sounds good. Wouldn't want it to go to waste with all the starving children in Africa and whatnot.
I love the way all the lights glisten on the water. It's beautiful. Too bad ducks are ugly, though.
I kind of like ducks.
I mean, they're not ugly. They're just far less attractive than, the lights on the water. I mean, they're just oddly shaped, like, just weird to me.
Oddly shaped?
Yeah, like their form and everything. Have you ever thought about it? Their heads are just like up here and their bodies are so much bigger. I've just never really understood it. So, is this the usual part of the job for you?
It's part of the job. It's not my favorite part, by any means.
So, what kind of people do you administer this treatment to?
All sorts. I think you'd be surprised.
So, what we're doing right now, does that happen very often?
Not really. You're the first to act on it, but I can usually see the fear or whatever it is in their eyes as I administer the, as you called it, treatment.
Is it the hardest part of your job?
I suppose.
Do you ever think about the moral or ethical implications of what you're doing?
Not really. I've got my system of ethics, and that's what I'm concerned about. But if you want to keep this going, we should probably change the subject or something.
Right. Stars look beautiful tonight. Do you mind if we take a look at them for a while?
Sure. That looks like a good spot over there.
Yeah? After all this conversation, I don't think I've gotten to know your name.
It's Brighton.
Well, you certainly brightened up my evening. Sorry, what's your last name?
Really insignificant is what it is. I like my middle name much more, so I'll tell you that instead. It's Rose.
Brighton Rose. Well, since you've given me your name, I guess I should give you mine.
Andrew James, have you already forgotten how this evening started? I ought to know your name.
Yeah, right. You know, stars have always been the more redeeming part of life to me.
How so?
They're in a void of darkness where the only way to survive is a really elaborate spacesuit. And, even if we did want to get to stars, it'd be a really long way. And then once we finally got there, we'd just burn up. And, it's one of those things that only an earthly perspective makes beautiful. And they're spinning wildly through space, yet locked in one spot like Earth.
But, it all works together so well. They're lonely and spinning wildly about the void of the universe, but I wouldn't have it any other way, really.
Do you ever feel like that? Like you're spinning about uncontrollably yet locked in place? Or like you feel like you see everything going on around you, yet you feel so lonely?
Actually, I do feel like that quite often. But I'm not sure there's anyone out there like me to be seen. I mean, aside from basic humanity.
I don't think there is either. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I actually meant it in a really good way. You see, I think you're really beautiful.
Thanks.
There's something that I've always wanted to do. It'll be fun, probably.
All right. Sounds fun. Probably. Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, I agree. I never knew being so terrified would be so fun.
There was a time in the middle of the day when I felt certain it was all gonna be okay. Though in the wake of the spirit-shaken storm, I was lost like a sailor falling overboard. 'Cause I go up till I go down, day to day in heaven's mercy. Though I'm tossed by a driven wave, just a single moment makes it all okay. So I'll ride what the water throws around, and I will pray for the grace of the good ground. It's alright in the weather and the wind. If for just one moment I can see your face.
I hope you don't mind. This isn't part of the date per se, but there's some people here that I want to see.
People you love, I imagine?
Well, love's kind of a tricky thing.
How so?
Well, I loved my parents when they were alive, but I kind of felt obligated to. You know, I would have loved them no matter who they were. Ever since then, love has been less like life's feast and more like food dangling just out of arm's reach. I just haven't found someone to give my heart to yet. And the only common factor here is me. I don't know if I'm unlovable. Maybe I'm just trying too hard. But maybe I just don't know what love is.
True love takes bravery.
Bravery? People get married so that they don't die alone. And people only love other people because they want to feel loved themselves. Love doesn't take bravery. What I did takes bravery.
I don't think you're brave for what you did. I've only ever seen fear in my patients, never bravery. You're special, and I love you, but you're no different in that regard. Your fear was just so great that you...
I didn't want to die alone.
Would you waltz with me under the strawberry moon that would fill?
So, you said you know how to dance, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how to waltz?
Yeah, that's my favorite dance.
Would you like to teach me?
Yeah, sure.
Yesterday is gone away, and left only us to be there. Like I never did a thing wrong. What's the word you say when you're sorry? Well, tonight I'm as blue as your blue evening dress. I want to take you somewhere lovely. What about the ace?
Am I doing all right?
You're doing wonderfully. You know, I really hope these are terrible people buried here.
Why do you say that?
Because we're quite literally dancing on their graves. But you don't have very long left. What do you want to do now?
Well, we could go watch the sunrise from the top of the hospital. That way you don't have to take me very far. frightened?
Yes?
I'm gonna say something that I would have thought odd at the beginning of the night. But I wish we could last forever. Into eternity. I wish I didn't have to die.
You must feel like you've wasted your entire evening.
Not at all.
I wish things were different.
all you bleed. Give the sun your restless skin, and the earth your rambling feet. When the clouds are all weighed down, and the rain is all you see, release the clothes that bind you, and know that you are free. When the wind is tugging at your roots, when the wind is pulling all your leaves, let the current take you and fulfill the soil's needs. La 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 la. Na, na, na.